I wanted to share some testimonies about how amazing God answers prayers and how he's faithful. He's just amazingly faithful. Um, you just it blows me away still when I think about how utterly amazing um, and faithful he is. So okay, I'll tell you. Yeah, so I've tasted some stories from like this is a while ago. Some of these, but they're so good, and I just think, man, if you want a faith boost, and you want to trust God, then you know these ones are good ones. Um, I used to, I had this company, and it was an exterior plastering company, believe it or not. Okay, and had people working for me, and had up to times, up to about 6 people at one time. But mainly I'd be working with me or just one other person. Um, anyway, I was quite young. Okay, with this when I was started this, I think I was in my 20s. I was very young, and I was I'd had lots of answers to prayer. Okay, my early Christian walk. If you see my testimony, or if you've listened to that, it might hint at some of the things. But I had amazing amounts of answers to prayer, like really cool ones, like straight away nearly, like amazing. Okay, so I um I had my faith, I guess, as a Christian was pretty up there. It was like very, very much trusting God, believing God, knowing He was answering and He was there. Okay, so I was living like that, but um, and I had this Christian working for me, and he probably wasn't quite used to used to someone who had as much faith as me, who lived practically lived by faith. I was pretty much a live by faith sort of person. Okay, and I'll just share what I mean by that, because it's a little bit like it's not living by faith, that's living by stupidity. That's probably what you're thinking, or you might be thinking your financial management skills are shot, man. You should not run a company if you run a business like that. And I would agree with you. I would agree with you. Okay, but I live by faith. Okay, pure, unadulterated, unwatered down, complete trust and faith. And this is what I mean by it. So you'll laugh. You'll laugh about it because I laugh about it. I think it's awesome. Okay. We're on the way to driving on our way to work, and I was driving a sports car. Okay, I had an RX-7 Series 4. It's not exactly a plasterer's car. So I'm driving to work with my um a friend. Actually, he was working for me. It was a friend. Um, Sometimes not good to have friends working for you because we used to fight. You fight a lot when you're friends. um, anyway, I think it's Mike Batley. Don't tell anyone I told you, Mike Batley. Nah. So anyway, we're driving along, and we're going to this job, and I was like, oh, okay, I've got this job over in what was it? It's a really, really rich place. Ponsonby, yeah, it was Ponsonby. Is it the rich place? Yeah, it was Ponsonby. It was a real, anyway, it was an affluent part of the Auckland city, I think it was. Um, and I was working there, driving into this place, and I said, yeah, we're gonna need polystyrene for the house to do the house. We're gonna need polystyrene sheets, and we can't transport them in this car, obviously. So we're gonna have to get some way to transport them to the job. Um, Also, I'm gonna need plaster. Probably about 10 or 20 bags of plaster or something. Something like that. I can't remember exactly the quantities, but I'll need plaster, and I'll have to get them delivered as well. Um, Plus, I'll need buckets to mix the plaster in. It's like, hang on a minute, you're a plasterer and you didn't bring buckets or plaster or polystyrene. Yeah. So I said, oh yeah, okay, so I'm gonna need buckets to mix all the plaster and have water buckets. So I need about 6 of them. And I'm praying. I was praying while I was driving, and these are the things I'm praying for. And he's like looking at me sideways, going, "What? You mean you haven't got plaster? You haven't got polystyrene? You haven't got any way to get any of that stuff there, and you haven't got any buckets? Who am I working for?" He was the first day he was working for me. I had told you that. Anyway, I had brought the drill, yeah, and the trowels and stuff, and the hook. So I had some of the gear. So he's coming along anyway. He's in the car looking at me going, "Oh my god, we've got no plaster." And then I told him the best part. Oi! Get off my bed. Oh, little punk. Anyway, then I told him the best part of the whole thing. Oh yeah, I haven't got any money either. Don't have actually any money to buy the plaster, to buy the polystyrene, and the polystyrene was going to be a couple $100 at least, you know, hundreds. I don't know how much it was. Plaster would have been. Plaster was probably a couple $100. Polystyrene, don't know. And buckets, you know, I don't know how much they would be either. I said to him, yeah, so we'll pray for, you know, we need all this stuff. So I don't know how God is going to get us all this stuff for free and get it to the job. Okay, because we're on the way to work. Get it to the job delivered for us. So I said maybe there'll be a free sale on plaster at the company. Maybe they're giving away polystyrene today, and maybe it will be free deliveries. And my workmate, as you can expect, is looking at me, utter like, "Are you crazy? You seriously can't? Seriously, we can't be going to work with no money to buy materials. How is this going to work?" But I was so used to living by faith, and God answered every prayer, and I was always had everything, that this was nothing for me. This was no problem. Okay? So he's looking at me going, "This is nuts. We're not going to get any work done today." Okay? Yeah, but see, you know, there's heaps of ways God could have worked it out. He just didn't know. He hadn't been around long enough to know how God used to do things. So we're driving along, and I'm driving along, keep on going, after praying. About a couple of minutes later, if that, okay, I hear a honk from someone driving in the opposite direction. And I recognized who it was, and I thought, oh, hey, I know who that. So I pulled over, and they did a U-turn, came up behind us, and it was a big white van, and it had honked and everything. And it was my dad. I was going, "Oh, hi, Dad." He lived somewhere, and I went, "Oh, wow, hi, how you going?" And he comes up and goes, "Oh, how is it? How are you doing?" I said, "Oh, good, yeah." And have a little conversation with him. And now the thing is, it's real funny. Yet to be there to see that my friend's face, you would have laughed your head off to see his expression. Anyway, my dad continued, like, he goes, just after, you know, "Oh, how are we going on all that?" He goes, "Oh, what are you up to?" And all that. And I said, "Oh, I'm off to Ponsonby. Yeah, I'm gonna go and do a job over in Ponsonby." And he goes, "Hey, do you need some polystyrene for the job? Because I've got some sheets of polystyrene in the back of my van that you could use if you need it, because you know I don't need it. I've got spare polystyrene left over from a job." And I went, "Oh yeah, that would be good." And my friend's like, utterly, his mouth has dropped, just totally dropped. He's like, "Oh, can't believe his ears," because I hadn't said anything. And then he goes, and then my dad goes, "Oh, would you like me to drop it off for you? I can drop it off for you over to the job." He says, and I've also got I've got some spare buckets as well. I've got quite heaps of spare buckets. "Do you need any spare buckets?" I said, "Yeah, no, that would be cool, yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I've got about 6 spare buckets." So at this point, at this point, my my worker is utterly freaking out of his tree. Okay, and then he goes, oh yeah, and he goes, I'm just actually myself going to be doing a job. Uh, I'm just going to pick up some plaster. Would you like me to get you some plaster? I'll just put it on my account and then deliver it over to your job if you'd like. So, so I got the in order. This is the cool part. In order of what I prayed for is exactly the conversation, the order that I was offered it. Perfect word for word. Exactly what I asked for, exactly what I was offered, exactly what I got delivered. So I just drove on to work. He dropped everything off, everything happened. I didn't even have to ask for it, didn't even imply it or hint it. It just happened, and it happened moments after I prayed, with my worker utterly freaking out and astonished. Now that was just one morning going to work for me. That was just one morning going to work. I'd had so many testimonies, so many answers to prayer. It was my normal life. That was my life, and I was used to this, and this is how God did it. Just, I guess if you're not used to living like that, by faith and having answers to prayer, yeah, that would really, really freak you out. But no, that was just another day at work. I hope that encourages you, because God loves it, seriously loves it, when you live by faith. It says the just shall live by faith. That's what it says. He actually, without faith it is impossible to please him. Okay, so he loves it. I know he loves it. He loves us trusting him to the most insane degrees. Like, utterly trusting him. I'm not saying get rid of all common wisdom, okay, and planning and prudence and actually management skills, okay, I'm not saying that. But he loves us being dependent on him, believing him, trusting him. He just really, he loves that, okay? That's coming from the Bible, not just my opinion. But from personal experience, he will come through for you as well in those situations. I wasn't trying to be a bad business person or mismanage. I was just a very, very young person, didn't have much money, was trying to run a business with no real understanding of running businesses or money. I learned pretty quickly.